Guys, you're very welcome back to the second series of the 12 Rants of Christmas, where every day over the next 12 days, I'll have a new mini video podcast for some of you, discussing a variety of subjects that I wouldn't normally get to discuss on the podcast. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to discuss red flags and things that made me left swipe in 2024. I'm going to talk about whiny football fans, being a Karen, people who are late, dramatic social media gestures, and I'll even have a new low blows short video talking some wrestling in there for anyone who follows me over at Low Blows. I have my Christmas jumper on here. I'm going to be mixing it up. This one's very comfortable. It feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. But to answer some questions you may have if you're not watching, or if you're watching the video, before we begin, yes, I can confirm this is where I live. It's definitely not just a YouTube video in the background that you can find the link to in the show description. This is my fireplace. The fire is going as we speak now. Just ignore where the video cut out there. It actually never needs briquettes, as you'll notice as this goes on. Like it just keeps firing up. Like it's great. This is my ridiculously oversized wreath. It was some job trying to carry that in, I'm telling you. This is my stupidly large tree. It's over that way, which I should probably know since it's in the room with me. It took me about 18 hours to decorate that, but I feel it's worth it, and it's truly a pleasure to welcome you into my home on this actual Christmas. It definitely isn't pre-recorded. I am recording this as you listen to it on Christmas Day. That's how I spend my Christmas Day. It's quite sad, some people call it, but I'm devoted to my listeners. I've also got, like I said, my novelty Christmas jumper on, thanks home pennies, and we've got some chilled out Christmas music in the background that may not actually be suitable for some of the subjects that we're going to discuss over the next few weeks, because some of them are going to be quite serious, but a lot of them are going to be just ripping the piss and having a laugh. You can get the playlist link in the show notes too. Today, for the first episode that we are releasing on Christmas morning, I'm going to keep it light, and I'm going to give you guys a gift for spending part of your Christmas day with me, because today it's the gift of my eternal shame. I'm going to play for you my most embarrassing voice note that I sent in 2024. And for those of you who don't know me on a texting level, I fucking love a voicey. I am very much the epitome of every person you see on videos of people taking the piss out of those who send voice notes, starting it by saying, you know what, it's going to be easier if I just text you this way, and then spending the next 7 minutes being like, what was I going to say? I actually lost my train of thought there. Enforcing the recipient to sit through what they could have read as a text in like 20 seconds. But every now and then, there are some gems, even if I don't necessarily like them. To be clear, this voicey is not something, and it's not a story I'm necessarily proud of. It's a really embarrassing moment for me, and one I'll take grief about at every family event for at least an entire decade of my life now. But funny is funny, and sometimes you do have to put your own pride aside for the sake of sharing a good story, especially at Christmas time. I did briefly consider putting this out on TikTok and the likes, because it is the kind of thing that would get shared, but also I then thought about the real world outside of like just TikTok numbers and stuff like that. And I'm a relatively serious professional, believe it or not, in the real world. I'm people's boss. Like, I've got a boss myself, and they've got bosses as well. And I'd really rather it didn't get shared around their group chats, like with the kind of caption of them saying, are we really sure about this guy? I don't know. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it, but I'm going to save it for you, the real ones, the subscribers who listen to the show and think enough of me to tune in and spend part of your Christmas day with me. You deserve it. Just one thing I'll ask, don't share it. This is your present for being a listener, so I'd appreciate if you just kept it to yourself and just like didn't like ruin my life by sharing this around. For the record, I didn't do anything wrong, okay? Like, I didn't do anything crazy. It's not illegal or anything. It's just kind of embarrassing. For those of you who watch the video along with this on either Spotify or YouTube, I'm going to throw in an added treat. Since I'm sharing my humiliation with you, I'm going to actually relive the voice message with you right now and listen to it and react as I play it. The background to the voice message is as follows. It's the morning after a wedding, a beautiful wedding that I attended during the summer. I've just woken up and had that moment where I remember the exact moment that the night all went wrong. And the worst part about it was, like I said, sometimes stories are embarrassing because you've done something. I didn't really do anything particularly wrong here. Life just conspired in a particular moment to absolutely fuck me over. And I immediately needed to share it with my good mate Sinead, who is the recipient of this voice message. So that's where I'll leave it. You have the backstory. Now, enjoy my misery. I can't believe I'm going to share this. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's live this together.
I currently have maybe the biggest fear I've had in years. And what happened wasn't my fault. But fuck me. So I stayed up until like 4 a.m. drinking. All my family had gone to bed. It was just me and the Americans at the wedding last night. Making friends with everyone, chatting, and it was really good. Great wedding vibes. Everyone on a buzz. The usual shape. They all say they're going off. They found a little other place like to chill out and drink in. That's really nice. So they're like, oh, we're gonna head up there. I'm like, yeah, me. So I went back to bed and I just fell in my bed and fell asleep. It's roasting, right? So I'm sleeping naked, okay? Wake up in the middle of the night. Need to go for a piss. I'm not like I'm not awake. I'm pretty much sleepwalking at this stage. Don't really know where I am. So I go as if I'm at home. Walk out the main door of the room. Locked out. Naked as the day God made me. And locked out of my room. With no key. Sinead. I'm like, the reception's only there, like it's about 20 steps away. But I just run into the reception naked, like. So I'm just standing at the door, panicking, going, what the fuck do I do? What the fuck? I'm wide awake now, trust me. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And like, I'm in a hallway where other people can come out at any stage. Thank God they didn't. This poor, really lovely American girl happens to walk by, sees me in the door, realizes I don't have much clothes on, and she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then she kind of like laughs and like just jogs away. And I had to walk out the door, covering myself, be like, excuse me, I actually need help. As you can see, I don't have many pockets for my key card. Didn't actually say that. I'm like, I'm locked out. Here's my room number. Can you please get in reception? She's like, oh my God, you poor thing. She gives me a jacket to kind of cover myself up. Sprints off, gets it. Sinead. I had to go for breakfast this morning. And like, I'm still going to get breakfast. Like, fuck that, I'm starving. Like, and hungover as fuck. I have never been as terrified walking into a breakfast. Thank God none of my family were there. Oh, Sinead, I forgot to tell you. In the middle of this, my auntie walks over and is like, Gerard? And the hotel porter has to pretty much like tackle her to be like, no, lady, stay away for your own sake. Because he'd been told and he's running over with the key. So my auntie knows. Um, Fortunately, no one there at breakfast saw me. I was one of the first up, so. But I have all that to look forward to. A new family story that's going to get rolled out at every occasion as soon as it gets out. Which it's going to, because the girl is going to tell the bride, and that's how it's going to filter into the family. So, fuck my life.
So, back to Christmas year, listening to that, horrified, reliving it all. You might think to yourselves, "Oh, now you're gonna hear all the jokes. Like that's gonna come into play, and you're gonna hear it over Christmas." No, because there was a part 2 to that voice message. Around 3 hours later, when I got home from the wedding, because I didn't have long to wait until I heard all about it. So here's part 2. If we're in for a penny, in for a pound.
So I'm just home. So part 2 of the story is my ma started texting me going, "Are you coming out for breakfast?" And I was like, "No, I've already had it. This is after I've sent the voicey to you." And she's like, No, come out, everyone's here, it's great. Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna just chill until the last second I have to check out. And then I'm gonna run to the desk, run to the car, and hopefully look at no one. So I get out, and my auntie's boyfriend walks over to me. He's like, "Jer, what? We saw everything. And I mean everything." I was like, "Brian, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to talk about it." He's like, "Oh no, we're talking." So yeah, the entire family already knows, including my parents. That's why they wanted to get me out, so they could slag me. God love my auntie. She's a star. What a trooper, like. She figured out what was happening and was like, "Jer needs help. I'm gonna walk towards the shit show." So yeah, you can imagine the jokes are already hopping. There's a day 2 thing happening in town, and they're all like, "Are you coming?" And I'm like, "Fuck no." Oh, and also, I didn't realise that last night when really drunk, I texted a girl who I know from years back on Instagram after she'd liked my pictures and was like, "Hey, how's it going? Just wondering, are you single these days?" She's not. But if the fear wasn't bad enough, I'd forgotten I'd sent that message until I got a reply. This is why I don't go out that much anymore.
So yeah, that's how my 2024 went. I've heard every joke since then. Like, I've heard every joke. If you're thinking it, I've heard it already. My sister, and I gotta give props where it's due, it was my birthday like a week after this. What did my sister get me? Fucking pajamas. Yeah. That's my 2024, guys. So over the next 11 days, I'm probably going to be like a smart arse and snarky. Just remember where I'm coming from, okay? Just remember, if you're like pissed off at something I say, that's who you're dealing with. You can't be angry with me. I'm a fucking mess. That's my Christmas gift to you, okay? Just for you. Just for you, because you're spending part of your Christmas day with me. Not for your family, not for your friends, not for your group chats. Just for fucking you, okay? As a thank you to listening to the show, okay? That is it. That is my most embarrassing moment of the year, delivered to you right under your tree, into your earlobes, as your Christmas gift from me. And that's been the first episode of the 12 Rants of Christmas for today. I'm Jared Leggett, and I'll be back tomorrow, which is one of the biggest football days of the year. So, of course, I'm going to discuss how football fans have become absolute fucking whinge bags. Chat to you then.